So, our last comedian would like to confess that after 8 years of living in Berlin, he's never been to the Berghain.
Shock horror!
Right? I just dropped my metaphorical joint. Like, I don't know where to go with that. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a huge Neukölln Confessional round of applause for James Harris!
Good evening, Neukölln. How you doing? Fantastic. It's been a short night. Yeah, my name is James Harris. I've been living in Germany for 8 years. I moved to Berlin as the first stop on a world tour. Haven't really got much further than that. In fact, these days I don't generally leave Kreuzberg. In fact, these days I don't normally leave my flat. So it's very exciting to be here in Neukölln tonight. The part of a city for people for whom Kreuzberg doesn't look enough like Istanbul. Now, I really like coming to Neukölln because I get to practice my German with the Turkish people, because the only people who still speak German in Berlin are the Turkish people. And it's very ironic that you Germans complain about it all the time, because all the foreigners I know learn all their German from Turkish people. Die Türken, die in Deutsch leben und kein Deutsch können. I've never met a Turkish person in 8 years of Berlin. They all speak fluent German. I met a lot of Americans. They've been here since the Berlin Wall was built, and they don't speak a single word. It's great learning German with Turkish people. It's really cool. I think it's a bit weird, actually, because I've noticed this a lot, that the Berliners, the actual Germans, they've got really... Good evening, sir. Welcome. You've just come for the start of the show, so that's...
I'm already here.
You're already here, but you just felt the need to stand up.
I went to pee.
Yes. You felt the need to stand up to pee, was that? Or this... yes. Did you have a point, sir? You look as if you've just been like... You look like you've just been dispatched with some kind of message for me, like this is like your bit in the drama. Someone wrote an extra part to my set tonight, which I didn't know. Some guy goes, the factory's burnt down and all the children have escaped. It's like, okay, let's go and put it out. Do you have anything to add? You've made an incredibly dramatic entrance and you've not followed it up with any kind of real contribution. Now you're just looking at me in a brooding fashion. And we're just supposed to carry on with my set with you just staring at me the whole time like this. This is on TV, my friend. Nate, was this like a little joke for you? Like, yes, at this point, 3 minutes in, it's going all right. A dark stranger will enter and stare at you and go, proceed, tell your jokes about Germany. We will see who is laughing after the show. You are the villain of the evening. Now sit down and let me get on with it. So yeah, it's really weird. I find, has anyone had this experience with Germans that they've got really bad hearing problems? I've had this experience because I speak to them in German and I get an answer in English. The hearing problems of the Germans are so bad that they can no longer distinguish between the German and English languages. That is, I realise that they're doing this on purpose. So they're actually playing their national sport, which is, it's called German off. And we've had this experience where I'm speaking to someone in my German, which took me years and years to learn. If I hadn't learned German, I could have had a house, a wife, children by now. I would have been a successful stand-up comedian. I'd have been playing some big show in London. Instead, I was in my bedroom in Neukölln going, Das Brot. You know, that's what I chose ahead of, you can have a family or Dirty Dash. You can't have both. And I'm not sure why I chose Dirty Dash, but I did. So, I went in, and this game is called a German off, right? And I went into the shop. The longest I ever played it for was 3 days. And I went into a cafe, and I ordered in my best German. Ich hätte ganz gern einen Kaffee. And the guy comes out and goes, okay, I bring you him. So he brings me out the coffee, and I do this thing like when I'm trying to prove that I can speak German, I try and get all the cases into one sentence. So I go, angesichts des vor mir stehenden Kaffees kommt mir ein angenehm Geruch in die Nase. And the guy goes, yes, he is a lovely coffee. He tastes to us very nice. I finally figured out, though, after 3 days and nights in this coffee shop playing this game, I finally figured out how to win. I just turned out, I said, okay, fine, you win. Let's speak English. The waiter turned around and went, nein, in Deutschland muss man Deutsch reden. You can't win. And actually, when I take up Germans on this, I say, you know, guys, come, ich bin seit langer Zeit hier in Deutschland. I've been living here for ages. You know, just speak German. It's kind of, I take it as a compliment. They always say the same thing. Like, ich wollte dir nur entgegenkommen. So I went to the dictionary and I looked up the verb entgegenkommen. And it means to act like a passive-aggressive arsehole. And then cry foul when someone takes you up on it. And even worse, when you're saying goodbye to an English speaker, to use the words bye-bye. The only people you still say the words bye-bye with in English these days are small children. Just as a tip for you. Yes, I've been living here for ages. And it's quite weird, like, doing comedy in German. You've got a very strange vocabulary about comedy in German. You've got this like phrase, you know, in Britain we say, you know, you got sense of humour. In German you say Sinn für Humor, sense for humour. Isn't that the weirdest way of saying that? It sounds like humour's a gas, which has been released into the room, like... Can you smell that? There's humour in here. There is humour in the room. Okay, get everybody out. Get everybody out. Get all the children out. Get the old people out first. There's humour. You see like a headline in the German paper. Humor in der Schule. Kinder evakuiert. Kein Lachen, keine Sorgen. Actually, someone told me, I only worked this out after like 6 years of living in Germany, that when you tell a joke in German, you're actually supposed to smile at the end. Which is exactly the opposite of how you're supposed to tell jokes in English. Like when we have a joke in English, you might have a phrase like, my dog's got no nose. How does he smell? Awful. You tell the same joke in German, it would be, mein Hund hat keine Nase. Wie riecht er? Schrecklich. Let's try another joke, shall we? English classic. Why did the chicken cross the road to get to the other side? In German, warum ging das Huhn über die Straße? Auf die andere Seite zu kommen. It's like, you know what it's like? It's like a medieval jester telling a joke. It's like, ha my goodie! That is German comedy. German comedy, stuck in the Middle Ages. I was actually in Germany when the first joke here was ever told. That was in 2004. And it was told by a guy called Hans-Dieter Sachsenberger in Marzahn. And his friend brought him some salmon and some bread. And he said, nein, danke, ich bin Lachstoast intolerant. Well, it wasn't a very good joke, but everybody has to start somewhere, don't they? So yeah, Nate was asking me for a confession, and I got a confession for you. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I recently found out that my ex-girlfriend was having a baby. And you know what it's like? There's always this little thing where you think one day you might get back together, and then you find out some news like that, you know. And don't get me wrong, I think Prince William will be a good father. We're just very different, he and I. He's got a bit more money, but I speak better German. No one can take that away from me. So Prince William, I didn't really have Kate Middleton wasn't really my girlfriend, by the way. We just had a little affair. Like, didn't mean anything. I mean, for her, it meant quite a lot. To me, it meant nothing. We got any single people in the room tonight? All my single ladies. Come to me, girl. That's a sleazy version of it. Where am I single? Come to me, single lady. Because it's funny because you got those. Who's got the relationship status in a relationship on Facebook? Who's got it's complicated? Who's the it's that's very surprising because the only people I know who do it's complicated are girls. And it's complicated to me. It means in girl, I'm having sex with someone, but I don't want to introduce him to my parents. That's what it's complicated mean. I'm kind of out of time. I had a bit more to talk about, but I'll just leave you with a little tip which somebody gave me recently. If you, this is very useful if you're around the house and stuff. If someone brings you, if you got some red wine and you spill some red wine, get some white wine and pour the white wine into a glass and drink it. You'll no longer care about the red wine. You'll be like, I got the white wine, thank you, good night.
Oh my God. James Harris, everybody. Yes.